Hi, my name is Fiona and I'm Head of Communications and Customer Service at WelHatCHT Community Housing Trust, and we're here today with Paul Wren, who's the Chair of our Management Board and long-standing tenant. Paul, we'd like to hear just a little bit about your story as a council tenant over the years for #Housing Day. So, can I ask, how long have you lived in WelHatCHT?
I was born in WelHatCHT in November 1941, so 73 years this November.
Very long-standing resident. And how did you first come to be a council tenant?
Well, my grandfather was a pioneer in the town. My parents were also council tenants, so it seemed the right thing to do for me to follow on, put my name on the list, which we duly did.
You got somewhere.
We got a house in 1962.
Oh, and what do you think was the perception of council housing in those days? Because I think perhaps it's moved on a bit.
I think people thought, or for the council's attitude, you were very lucky if you got one. If you got one, don't ask questions. You're very lucky to get it, and just be thankful that you've got it.
And were there more homes, more council houses around in that time? Was it easier to get somewhere?
Oh, very much so. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we were on the list 18 months, 2 years probably. So fairly quickly that we got onto them.
And do you think that people's views about council housing and council tenants has changed over the years, and why that might be?
Oh, very much so. People's attitude has changed. I mean, this much, if we look back at the town, in my younger days, the town was split in half, and by the railway, and on the east side was the industrial area where the council tenants lived, and on the west side was the residential side where the leaseholders lived, or owner-occupiers lived. But I mean, that has changed with the right to buy. Many houses then became owner-occupiers on the east side, and lots more properties were also built on this side, so the town now is much more sort of spread about than it was before.
So what's your own experience of being a council tenant been like over the years, Paul? Do you have any particularly positive or negative memories of the housing service?
Well, we've been very happy. I mean, we were in our first house where we lived for 12 years, and we've lived in this one for 40 years now, and it's been, well, absolutely wonderful as far as we're concerned. We've got a beautiful house, and we've got lots of friends that live in the area. We're quite friendly with most of the neighbours around here. We've got a mixed population here. We've got sheltered accommodation over the road, which is nice to keep an eye on those, and they like to stop and have a chat as well. And no, we've been very happy here. We couldn't ask for better.
Oh, thank you. And what do you think makes the social rented sector particularly sort of special or different compared to other housing in the area?
I think we're extremely lucky here in Welling that we've got houses that have been well maintained, and there's been a lot of investment in there for tenants as well. And I think lots of people aspire, I suppose, to owning their own houses, but lots of other people are very satisfied about renting properties, and we've been very happy about renting properties here. We know that some of our friends may have gone out to buy their properties in the past, which meant the wife has to go out to work, and they have a very sort of chaotic life, whereas we were fortunate. We stayed here. Wendy looked after the children, so this is what you get when you live in social renting housing.
Thank you. And how about sort of the broader neighbourhood and so on? Tenants often tell us that obviously the condition of their home is very important, but it's not just that. It's also the neighbourhood where they live. How do you feel about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been involved, I suppose, being on the management board, there was a problem over the road at sheltered accommodation over there, and we went over there, helped resolve the problem that they had over there, and then got involved with their social life as well, which was extremely nice, and jokingly said, we certainly put our name on the list for when we can no longer manage this house, we'll come across the road to you. And it's really nice to get involved, and they love it over there, and we still get fairly frequent contact with the people over there, and certainly with the scheme manager as well.
Oh, so positive influence in the wider neighbourhood.
Absolutely, yes.
And how did you come to be involved with the tenants panel and the management board in the first place?
Well, I saw an advert when I retired from work. I saw an advert saying, "Would you like to have a say in the way that council housing is run?" And I thought, yes, that's a very good idea. Let's see how the money's spent. And so I answered the advert and went on to do that. And it blossomed from there, if you like.
And do you think it's given you any sort of personal benefits? What do you think you've gained from being involved, and what do you think we've gained from your involvement?
Well, yes. I mean, I think it gives tenants a much wider say in the things that we've done. Not personally for me, but I feel satisfied in the way that I've been able, and other members on the board have been able to help those people who have not been able to help themselves because they've not known where to go or what to do. And I think that gives us a great satisfaction in being able to help those along.
Thank you.
Okay.